Okay, so hold on, man. Hold on, guys. I'm fine. They won't let me do live feeds on um, YouTube because they say I'm not eligible. I guess I'm too cheesy or too hot for TV or whatever they say. But yes, I've trimmed the beard again. Total rock star mode, so fucking. Wow. First of all, I want to thank like everybody who has been supporting me over the last like year. I mean, just the people that have been, like close to my heart and really helping me work through my issues and stuff like that, like spiritually. Probably the biggest influence on all the songs that I've written and recorded over the past year. Probably a little longer than that, probably a year and a half. And I met a lot of new people. I quit doing drugs regularly. I'm not going to tell you I quit doing drugs altogether, but I definitely, it definitely backed off on doing them in such drastic measures. It was rough. That first year or two, was really rough as far as like going through the roller coaster of all the emotions of kicking off like the Never Is Enemy thing. And I think I'm going to continue to do Never Is Enemy, but there's some other projects out. One's called Scarchild, SKARCHILDE, and that project has it's got like no real following right now. I mean, not major at all. You know what I'm saying? So I can still do I can do like whatever venues. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like there's no commercial on my songs right now. No commercials on my Scarchild songs. So that's just kind of like a baby project. Like I can't even play an hour full of Scarchild. I don't even think I can. Well, probably a half hour, but like not a full hour. I can't even play a full hour Scarchild like songs. I don't think so. Maybe like 45 minutes is enough. So it would be difficult for me to even play a show at a bar. Like there's a bar around here. They want you to be able to play for 3 hours. So they want you to play covers. They want you to play requests, and they want you to play all this other shit. So I mean, doing Scarchild, it started off as something that like I was going to do totally underground, and it's where I really started digging into the rap. There's a song by Never Is Enemy called Walk, where it's really the first time I like seriously like wrote a rap song. And like for the first time in like since Elijah was like not even 2 years old. I mean, the last rap song I did on like a hammered up piano that I dragged out of the trash. Some guy came by and he's like, "Yo, tattoo me, blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying? I recorded a song with me. I'll pay you some money. He never paid. Me and my homeboy, we had to go collect the money. It hurt my heart to have to do what I had to do. And so after that, with the rap, I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing rap again. I was actually on the song, I never heard of the song we were getting anywhere, because I gave him the copy of it. I didn't keep a copy of it. I still remember the rap, I still remember the lyrics to it. But, and I had to write all the music to it and record it all, Like I just wrote lyrics, so I decided that I wasn't going to go that route. You know what I'm saying? And I decided that if I was ever going to make music for, rap music or anything like that, I kind of decided that I was going to step back and I wasn't going to rap unless I was absolutely forced to do it. So, which put me in a situation where, you know, I have to braid my hair up, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want hair like this, you know what I'm saying? Someone could grab your hair like this and, you know, it's going to get ripped out, you know? They grab your hair like this. When you got your hair in braids, you know what I'm saying? They grab one of your braids. You can grab their fist. You know, you can do some shit. When your hair's like this, they can get their fingers caught up in your hair and just do damage. You know what I'm saying? So I keep my hair braided up when I'm doing that shit. You know, but yeah, I'm just kind of chilling, kicking back, man. I'm glad to be home. You know, I'm glad to be away from all that chaos and all that shit that goes on when I travel around like that. I'm definitely glad that, you know, thankful for the gift and the talents and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, through religion, I mean, I've said this before, like, I do believe in Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? I believe in Jesus Christ. But I also have, you know, a firm faith in all religions. And, like, I believe Jesus Christ exists, okay? I believe he exists. And I believe that he full-heartedly died on the cross to save us from our sins. Like, I believe those things. And I believe he had the power to endow us with eternal life through his teachings. I believe that. I believe in immortality as well. You know, and I believe in a lot of different things. I believe in a lot of crazy shit. Because, yeah, I do have some mental issues that I have to take medication for, unfortunately. But that all comes along with being a musician. That all comes along with being the artist. You know, a mind like that, sometimes when you're blessed like that, it's burdensome. You know, and it's been that way since I was a preteen. I started tattooing when I was 13 years old. 13 years old. 13 years old. And I was institutionalized by the age of 11. You know, so I mean, you talk about the struggle and starting to go through it and stuff like that. I mean, I started at a young age going through that shit. And I spent my whole life trying to hone my anger and trying to filter it and process it the proper way and all that kind of stuff. And I never really wanted to have, like, aggressive songs in my music. Like, I never wanted to, like, throw that into the mix because I was in a punk rock band when I was in high school. And that's on my discography, you know, the Seven's discography, pt.I's discography, 2022. I update that, you know, every time I write a song. By the way, I put the new song, like the raw tracks on the unmixed shit, the unmastered shit. I put it on the pt.I's discography. That's what I listen to when I'm out and about and kicking the road. But it's just been a rough road, man. You know what I'm saying? This time around, I definitely chilled out a lot more. I'd say I was more serious about the music this time. You know, I didn't necessarily directly work with a producer, but I was in contact with a producer. I was receiving, like, not tutelage, but like kind of like just being under his wing, you know? Just being under his wing. Not really as a musician so much as a friend. You know, so I mean, for guidance, you know what I'm saying? Just for someone to turn to and say, hey, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on, and you turn around and say, well, you know, this is like this, this is like this, this is like this, and you're right here, you're right here, you're right here, and this works, and this works, and this is not going to make you happy, and this is not going to make you happy, and you got to do this right, you got to do this right, you know, this is how it was back then, this is how it is now, so you got to make your decisions based on this, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's been different since after I met him. I met him through his son, and I'm really good friends with his son. You know, and like he's like a little brother to me, man. You know, I do anything for him. I die for him. I kill for him. You know, he's a firm believer in Jesus Christ. And, he's a brother in Christ. And but I try not to let my personal beliefs get in the way of what is expressed through my music. You know, the music is a really, if it was a religion, it would be a religion of coexistence. Like I try not to, you know, hate on people for what they're believing in, you know, race, sex, gender, whatever. It doesn't, like, kinship, anything, you know, creed, nationality, belief system, anything, religion, anything. And it doesn't matter to me what or who you are. You know, you are welcome at my shows, just so long as your intention is not to come there and harm somebody or harm yourself. You know, you have to understand that, you know, it's music business, and it is, you know, some of it is smoke and mirrors, and some of it is not. You know, but the people that are on stage are on stage because they've been trained to do that kind of shit, you know, and it's, a lot of people will tell you that, you know, no one really gets hurt, no one really gets hurt at a show, but how are we to say, you know? And the technology that we use is disgusting. You know, we didn't wait around for some, and we start off independent, and we don't wait around for some might be chance that a corporation might look into us and then put us in debt for 20 years and take everything we have and tell us when we can have a cigarette and when we can't have it. No, we don't live like that. We don't live like that. We take what's ours. We take what's ours because we're savages. We're fucking savages. My father called me a savage my whole life. And he says, "You're a goddamn savage." He's like, "Why don't you have some couth and some fucking manners, and why don't you live respectably and honor the Lord and all this other shit, and blah, blah, blah. Those tattoos are going to land you in hell. You're going to be walking in hell your whole life." He's like, you might come in and out of my house, but you're going to be walking in hell in between, you know, even if it's from the house to your car. I was like, get fucking used to it. I was like, you know what? And that's why I'm a savage. You know, I ran away from home when I was 14 years old, 13 years old. I was carrying a gun at 14. I was carrying a gun at 14 years old. In this little town, I was carrying a gun. Because there's so much hatred. There's so much hatred out of jealousy or fear of the unknown that people just want to eliminate any kind of threat. And I understand that. I'm the same fucking way. If I feel like something is a threat to me, it's a threat to my children because I'm my children's protector. And if I feel like you're going to harm a child, I am going to eliminate you fucking permanently. Permanently. There will be no rising from the dead, as far as I'm concerned. Like, you'll be booted off the construct, you'll be booted off the fluctuator, you'll be booted out the matrix, you'll be booted off the omni construct, you'll be booted off the omniverse. You'll be done deal if I find out you're intentionally harming a child. You know what I'm saying? And it crosses under my nose. And I fucking hear about it. I say, yeah, you can ask for forgiveness, but is that child going to forgive you? Think about that. Because the child has to grow to a certain age to understand forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? There's just concepts that we don't grasp till we're older. You know, like love. You know? We are born very self-centered entities as humans. You know, so I do have human genetics. I mean, I have a human mother. I'm very human. You know what I'm saying? I'm very human. Despite all the fucking rumors and shit like that. Yeah, I was fucking made in a lab, but they did use my mother's husband's genetics and fucking putting the human side of me in me, but I mean, when you're a lab rat, you're a lab rat. And that's that. You know? I mean, my mother, I don't know too much about my conception. I don't know too much about the reality of the situation. All I know is that my mother believes that my father. I don't even want to get into this. This is family shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's personal stuff to me. And yeah, I have a lot of stuff reserved. You know, and I have a lot of stuff I don't want to talk about, and that's why I'm going to therapy. That's why I'm going to therapy, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm having meetings. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking. I'm starting to talk about the things that bother me, the things that I have issues with. And now is a good time to do it, because if you've heard the new music, if you've come out, if you've been around, if you've seen what you've seen, if you've been where you've been, and I need to say no more, but I mean, there's a good chance that you understand what I'm talking about. Like, especially if you've heard a good share of the music that's on that discography, and you actually look at the dates of when everything was released, specifically on that pt.I discography. Wow. There comes a point in that discography where it's just, it switches up one time, and it switches up another time, and it switches up another time. And if you listen to the lyrics, and you can actually pick them up, because I don't write them down. I don't write the lyrics down. Like later, if I feel like I want to cover one acoustically, then I'll sit down and I'll pick out the guitar parts and pick out guitars from the violins or keys or whatever, or the bass, and I'll mix them into a guitar riff, you know, or guitar riffs and like a guitar tablature without writing on the tablature. I'll just make the song into an acoustic song, and then I'll learn how to play it somehow, some way, you know, on an acoustic guitar. I don't do that often, you know, but there are certain songs I will do that with, you know. I like picking up the acoustic guitar and singing and playing like that. That's why a lot of the songs on that discography are acoustic, you know. When all this started, when I started putting all the songs on YouTube, you know, this time around, I started off with small videos, you know, at someone's art studio. Just songs that I had memorized throughout my life that were easy to play, that I was good to play, shit that I had mastered, playing guitar and singing. And before I did videos in that art studio, I did videos all over, and I put them on Facebook, and as soon as I learned how to put them on YouTube, I put them on YouTube. And not long after that, you know, I started seeing videos that, you know, the government had taken control of Facebook and YouTube, and, you know, almost immediately, there went my privacy. Okay? And yeah, you can say like, oh, well, you can stop this all, you can take your videos down from YouTube, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm an asset. I'm a liability. And it's more than just that. You know? Yes, I am expendable if it comes down to it. You know, that's true. That's a true thing. But I am the consciousness behind this all. I am. Me. Not any other person you see that looks like me or dresses like me, but me. I am the consciousness. The stuff that's on this YouTube channel, you know, that's real shit. Real shit. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. You know, so, it's, you know, clones or solidified holographic projections. I mean, interviews, yeah, but who do you think's projecting that thing to talk? Who do you think's having that conversation amongst like 8 billion other conversations in his head? Who do you think's projecting that? Oh, it comes from here. It comes from me. But when I've got to go play, because I've had such a connection with these programs, which the projections are, they're programs. They have a set level of AI with them, you know. When I'm fully synchronized with one, that's how your consciousness. And if you ever seen the movie Chappie, you saw that the AI figured out like what your consciousness was. It just put a helmet on you, something that sensed your energy signature, and it could detect your consciousness, like a a signature consciousness to every person. Every person has a signature energy field. It's signature, and it has a range. Okay, and that range it makes up the fingerprint for the consciousness. Okay, it's unpredictability. It's everything that is calculated in the 11th dimension about that energy field, you know, which is run through a cycle of sensory testing that goes on for about 15 seconds. You know, that they mix with your DNA and all sorts of other shit. I'm telling you, you have no idea what Jesus Christ is capable of, and he walks the earth. And he has given away enough technology that he can leave a backup plan if shit goes wrong. I'm just, you can look Jesus Christ up on YouTube. You can look him up on Facebook. There's only one begotten Son, and he is the only begotten Son. So I mean, as far as celebrities go, as far as musicians go, as far as like all of us go, all of us musicians and artists and stuff like that, Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ. He's the only begotten Son, and that's where he's at. I thank God every day for Jesus Christ. Thank you, God. Thank you for the tweet of God. Thank you for all those things. I thank him for his personality. I thank him for his sense of humor. He gets me through the most horrible of days. I have days that are terrifying and horrible, but I don't pay attention to what anybody says. I don't pay attention to the good comments or the bad comments. Fuck, man, views don't even show up on my phone. And I've been hacking computers since I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to pay attention to all that shit. Engineer, I've been inventing shit since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So before I picked up a gun, so I was really young. Just putting shit together and making shit happen. There's a real Anakin Skywalker out there. And I learned a lot of shit from him. So I mean, you hear things and you see things, and it's not always as it seems. Like right now, like they could edit this video, okay, with just my image, and they can make it say whatever they want it to say. Whatever they want it to say. I have no idea who's going to see this video, what fans are going to see this video, or how they're going to edit it, or what message they're going to convey in it. But I do know that it is the government that owns YouTube. It is the government that owns Facebook. And God damn it, they're probably going to censor this out. And the only thing I have to say to that is that it's probably for a reason that they're doing it, and it's probably an NSA reason that they're doing it, National Security Administration. So if they censor something of mine, I'm not going to sit there and make a big deal out of it and complain. Because, the one thing I learned throughout life is that life is a responsibility. There's two most important, things in your life. The two most important days of your life are the day you are born, not your birthday, not your annual birthday, but the day you are born, the day you come into this world, is one of the most important days of your life. Because that's when you receive your name. And the second day, that's the most important day of your life, is when you realize your purpose. And once you realize your purpose, the rest of your life is just living up to your name. And that's why the two of those things are the most important days of your life. And it's, sometimes that's a rough road, figuring out what your purpose is. But seek it. God says, seek and you shall find. Just because I've got an upside-down cross on my face, tattooed on my face, and I've got Hades, the seventh angel of Revelation, reaping hell on earth, tattooed on my fucking face, you know what I'm saying? In fucking, witchcraft, or Wiccan symbols and shit like that, and Illuminati symbols and shit like that. It doesn't mean that I don't pray and that I don't get down on my knees and seriously bow my head when no one else is looking, when I feel like I'm alone and protected by angels. And it doesn't mean I don't call on God to send me angels so I can go somewhere and pray and talk to Him. That's the most important thing I think I can ever have, is silent time alone with God. A God of my understanding. A God that I can relate to. Because I need something more powerful than myself. I'm always going to. You know? It doesn't matter if I'm the most powerful person on earth. I'm not the most powerful person in the galaxy. And if I'm the most powerful person in the galaxy, I'm not the most powerful person in the universe. And if I'm the most powerful person in the universe, I'm not the most powerful person in the multiverse. And if I'm the most powerful person in the multiverse, I'm not the most powerful person in the omniverse. It goes on and on and on. There's always someone bigger and better than you, man. Thank God. Thank God. Because God will work through that person to teach you, to guide you, to hone you, to strengthen you. Even when they're your enemy, still love them because they challenge you and they force you to become better at what you are good at. Or they will sharpen your talents and strengthen and refine your gifts. So, I have that to say. I don't believe in dissension. I don't believe in contention. I don't believe in fighting. I don't believe in all that shit. I'll say, so when I see mosh pits and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, fighting has its place and stuff like that. I don't want to see anybody